What's up, guys? It's Eric, aka SirRhoki here. I am in my lovely college dorm room in beautiful San Marcos, Texas, here at Texas State University. And now that I'm actually somewhat moved in, as you can tell from the fallen down poster over there, I'm not completely moved in yet. I thought I would get to work on that battle report I promised. So here it is. This was played at a Games Workshop in Dallas, Texas, last weekend. It was on Saturday, I believe it was the 15th, it might have been the 16th. It was played against my friend, whose name I will not release. He was playing some heavily proxied Wood Elves against my Bretonnians. So, without further ado, enjoy. Alright, so in this picture we have my deployment. On the right side I have my unit of 12 skirmishing archers. To their right, I've got my unit of 25 men-at-arms. To their right, I've got my unit of 5 Knights of the Realm with my battle standard bearer deployed with them. To their right, I've got my unit of Knights Errant with my general deployed with them. To their right, I've got my Grail Reliquae with the standard amount of peasants. To the right of them, over by the hill, not on the hill, I've got a unit of 10 peasant bowmen in ranks. Behind that, I've got my Trebuchet, and behind my entire front line, I've got my Pegasus Knights. If you can see those Thunderers right there, what actually looks like Thunderers actually happens to be Wood Elf Way Watchers. I don't know if you knew this, but my opponent was proxying the Battle for Skull Pass minis as Wood Elves, so those were his Way Watchers. The reason I deployed like that was to deny them the ability to deploy anywhere near my army, so I got them to deploy over there, which I thought worked really well as the battle ensued. One unit I forgot. That unit of horses, the unit of 5 horses right behind the Knights Errant, is actually a unit of mounted yeomen. I couldn't see them from the other picture. So yeah, that's what those guys are. I don't have my mounted yeomen models converted yet. I'm working on it right now. So I should have them done somewhat soon. I'm really regretting not getting a picture of my friend's deployment. Basically, his deployment was from the left, our side. He put his Way Watchers in front of the ruins. He's actually moving his Way Watchers there. You can see them in the first picture I showed. They were the Thunderers. And he deployed the War Dancers behind that ruin. You can see them in this picture. They look like dwarves, but they're actually Wood Elf War Dancers. A lot of people mistake that. To their right, he had a unit of Dryads in a forest, the Wood Elf's forest that they get to place. He placed that in the middle of the table, well, pretty close to it. Behind them, he had a unit of 20 Glade Guard. They had line of sight across the board pretty much. They had a clear LOS line. To their left, he had another unit of 20 Glade Guard, and to round that all out, he had a unit of 8 Wild Riders. There they are. You can see the Way Watchers in their full glory. Up at the top of this picture, you can actually see his unit of 20 Glade Guard, and the forest the Dryads were hidden in. On his first turn, he had his Lord, actually, or not his Lord, his General. We were playing at the 1500 point level. He had his General with the unit of Way Watchers, and he had his General equipped with the Hail of Doom arrow, which does 2d6 attacks, ranged attacks at any unit you choose, pretty much. And he shot at my skirmishing archers. He killed 7 of them. They panicked and ran. Magic phase, nothing went off. I'm doing this a bit out of order, but that's okay. His 20 Glade Guard shot at my men-at-arms. Didn't kill a quarter of them, so they were fine. But I had my skirmishing archers running off the board, which was... Here's a quick shot of some of the other movements he made. Those Spider Riders are actually his Wild Riders, and those Goblin Archers are a unit of 20 Glade Guard. We had a wall, or a ruins, stationed right by where his Wild Riders are, and he moved his Wild Riders next to that, and his archers, he kind of maneuvered a bit out of the way. So that's pretty much what happened in his first turn, and next up is bottom of turn 1. So here's my movement phase. I moved the Peg Knights over to deal with the Way Watchers. Funny story though, you guys probably don't know this. I have horrible luck with my Trebuchet. I have never, in any of the 20 or so games I've played before this, hit anything with my Trebuchet. I always went wide. The scatter dice never liked me. Well, this was my first time hitting something. See that purple die by the Pegasus? That indicates a wound. I hit my own Pegasus Knight trying to hit the Way Watchers. You can see the scatter dice that made that ill-fated move to the right of the Pegasi. So that was my first hit with my Trebuchet, was my own guys. But that's okay. I basically just moved up with my turn. Moved all my guys up, standard Bretonnian first turn. Magic didn't do anything for me. And my archers rallied. My unit of now 5 archers rallied, so they were only good for table quarters at that point. My other archers couldn't shoot, so I didn't have any shooting besides the trebuchet, and that was pretty much my turn. This is the perspective of the war dancers as the knights were bearing down on them. I brought my knights from the middle up, and they kind of fanned out, so they had multiple targets to charge at. I was trying a new deployment this time, never tried this before. Had my knights in the middle and my infantry blocks flanking, so we'll see how that turns. On my friend's turn 2, he moved his wild riders over behind the forest. Now you can get a clear view of the other side of the battlefield. The spider riders are, again, his wild riders, and they are behind the forest. Right next to them is his unit of glade guard with one of his magicians attached, which is represented by the night goblin shaman. He also moved his dryads into the trees. You can kind of see their primed models right to the right of the wild riders. And he cast some spells. Didn't do much there. Shot my Grail Reliquae, killed a few Battle Pilgrims, but that was really it. Then in my turn 2, this is another angle. You can see the Knights Errant and the Knights of the Realm and their sight lines, and some very scared goblins posing as wood elves. In this turn, during my magic phase, something good actually happened. It was really weird being a Bretonnian and having this happen. I got the Howler Wind off from the Lore of Life, so he couldn't shoot anything at any unit within 12 inches of my damsel, which is in the middle of that Knights Errant unit, which was really nice. It was really helpful for me. He ended up burning a lot of power dice to get rid of that instead of doing Call of the Hunt, which really would have helped him better, in my opinion. In this picture, you can see his other unit of Glade Guard during my turn 2, and you can see the dryads better in the trees. We couldn't find the area terrain piece for the trees, so we ended up using my new dice cubes, green dice, to represent the edges of the trees. So that's what that is. The green dice represent the edge of the forest, and the dryads are clearly within it. One more thing that happened during turn 2 was I charged his Way Watchers with my Pegasi. He stood and shot, killed the one with a wound, and challenged my champion. His lord had the spite that let my champion only hit him in a challenge on 6s. I really shouldn't have accepted, but I did. So what can you do? So that's what's going on there. I lost to Pegasus, but that's okay.